hundreds. It's the coach. We're set to go. This is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago. Coming up, we'll see the visiting Dallas Cowboys taking on the Chicago Bears. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Dallas Cowboys and the Chicago Bears. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, you look at this Bears team entering play. They come in at 15-0, one win short of a perfect regular season.
And it's something we've only seen a couple of times. Miami in 1972, New England in 2007. We know they're not going to mail it in. They're going to go for it.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by the former Mississippi State product, the mobile quarterback, Dak Prescott.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game, yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Prescott now on 2nd down. Drops it underneath to Elliott. And they'll get him down here at the 23. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. Prescott from the gun, and that is incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play, and 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This is taken at the 15. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Bears take over. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a play fake here on first down. And a diving grab. I think he got that, yes. A very solid gain of 27.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 right at the 40. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. For a lot of people, MVP award means a quarterback award usually, but over 100 yards again last week. They're going to have to look his way more than once when giving out this award this season, I think.
Yeah, it's not just the consistency. There's been some plays that we've seen where we talk about it for weeks thereafter. That's what we're getting out of him. Over 100 yards last week. Expects to continue that in this game, too. I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
And Parkey's kick is good. And it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this was all about letting the offense just get settled in.
Parkey now following the made field goal to kick this one off. Now Damian Williams to return it. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good one.
Oh, Prescott stripped. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have.
We've got plenty of weather here today. We've got some snow going on, and they've come out of a dome. And there have been 2 ways of getting ready for this. Some have said, don't worry about the weather. Just practice in your normal conditions and handle it on game day. And others have said, find some weather, find some conditions somewhere, and try and get ready. What do you think?
Well, whatever the preparation there, the snow causing the fumble. The Bears offense making their way out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the NFC. And these guys locked into that #1 seed. That's been a foregone conclusion for a while now. The question on everyone's mind, can they finish the regular season a perfect 16-0?
And it all comes back to philosophy of the organization, philosophy of the head coach, and, of course, the locker room itself. What do the players want to do? And I think what most teams would do in this situation is approach it, let's win every game, but let's be smart about doing it. So it doesn't mean that they're going to go all out if, indeed, they do need to rest a few people.
And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
And they'll try the run game here with the running back. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 20 carries, 127 yards.
Well, this is where it becomes a challenge for the offensive coordinator. He's got a bell cow at tailback right now, #3 in the league in rushing, within shouting distance of the lead. But at the same time, if the passing game is open, he's got to take advantage of that too.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. A look now at the starting 11 on defense for Dallas. They're trying to cover up some holes in the secondary. Right now, bottom 5 in the league against the pass at number 28.
And the easy thought process is that stopping the run is the least of their problems because they're facing the #1 passing team in the NFL. But if they don't stop the run as well, then that just opens up the passing game even more. They've got to do both.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Leopard!
They'll give it to him up the middle. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Now a handoff looking right. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goal is probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Second down, Prescott. And he finds his target, Terrence Williams. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They'll start by running the option to the right. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
We got 3. 3 down. 3 down. Hey, fellas, we got 3. Let's go.
They'll set up a throw. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. David Irving in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. And instead, they want to throw it off play action. He's going to float this over the middle deep, and he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. And now here come the Cowboys. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Throw right side, complete to Williams. Terrence Williams. He's at the 30, 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. Terrence Williams, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Cowboys are now just an extra point away from moving out in front. And, Charles, I had an offensive coordinator tell me one time that they designed every play to score. I don't know how true that is, but he had to run a long way after that catch. Heck of a play.
I think that when he was telling you that, he was designing run after catch in every play. I mean, that's the only way to put it in there, and that's what we got on that one. Nice catch, an even better run for big yardage.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
No. Check. Patriot.
They go play action here on first down. And that is incomplete.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. They'll come up on a 3rd and 4 here to start things out. They'll look to throw here. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And Parkey's kick is good. And they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. So who knew when we came to the stadium, you and I would see NFL history. That's the longest field goal ever made.
Brandon, if this were track and field, they might say it's wind-aided. But nevertheless, from the other side of midfield, man, that was something.
Parkey now following the made field goal to kick this one off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Terrence Williams getting ready to go again here on offense. Unless he has a Julio Jones-type 300-yard game in him that Julio did against the Panthers in 2016, probably not going to reach 1,000, but still pretty good year.
I think you're right. It's a pretty good year for him, but let's face it, every receiver's dream is to have a game like Julio Jones had against the Carolina Panthers. It's 300 yards on the nose, and it didn't matter what coverage they sent his way. He solved it each and every time. Maybe our guy can get that way in this.
Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack.
That's how we do it, baby.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Here we go. All right, hey. 26.
Here's Prescott. And he's got his man on the out route. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Here we go. All right, hey. Everyone, 4 down.
A 1st down carry by Elliott. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
If it's not one guy, it's another with this defense. I mean, this is the #1 unit against the rush in the entire NFL. They know how to cover for each other, and yeah, they've got great players. They also have very dependable players, too.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the 2nd quarter, it has been a struggle. 3rd and long for Prescott. And this is going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this 1st half as he gets it away. Fielded just inside the 20. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Green.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a solid run down inside the 30. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
He'll drop to throw. And, oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will fight his way in. Not giving up there, and he's got a Bears touchdown. A great effort there. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Bears will add on to their lead.
And that touchdown ends a streak, for lack of a better word, of 3 field goals that they put on the board previously. They finally cracked the code.
Yeah, they've been down there. They've been in enemy territory, as you said. They just hadn't been able to punch it in until that point. Cody Parkey is on now for the point after. Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And that makes this a 9-point game. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now Dak Prescott of the offense heading back onto the field. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure that his team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Here we go.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Throw right side, taken in by Gallup. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
The give is to Elliott, and he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack.
Well, that was their 3rd sack of the ball game, 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon. They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back here right after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he's able to get up here to the 26. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves to James. On first down, they're going option left. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's what I'm talking about. That's it, boy. Hey, alert. Mike's 50.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
The Bears on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. He'll look to throw. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it.
This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Chicago. A big play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Bears will extend their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Now Parkey for the extra point. Parkey adds the extra point, and that could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead. 5 plays there on that drive, and it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Dak Prescott and the offense heading back onto the field. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best ones let their teammates know that. They actually take it upon themselves and say, okay, I have to do even more, or I need to play better. Maybe even say, I put my defense in a bad spot. That's what true leadership shows you.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need to change much personally. First down, Prescott. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. A second down throw for Prescott. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
On 3rd down, Elliott. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. And now the Bears going to signal for another timeout, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Out now comes the Cowboys punter. He's been terrific so far. This is taken at the 18. Spinning away. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's 2nd down. Well, he's been the guy, already over 100 yards here in the first half. Could have had a lot more if he would have been able to haul that one in.
Yeah, in fact, our statistician Marvin was already handing me a piece of paper with that yardage totaled on it. He thought that catch was going to happen just as you and I did as well.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now back to throw. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
They'll look to throw. And Robinson with a big catch. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. So out comes the field goal team once more. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And Parkey's kick is good. And that will make this now a 19-point advantage. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. "13 seconds, the time remaining in the half as they come up on first down. They start on the ground with Elliott. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. A second down throw for Prescott. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Final play of the half. Prescott trying to drop one in, but it's incomplete. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. We'll get things started in the NFC North. Minnesota on the road traveling to Lambeau. And it's the Packers who are out in front in the second quarter. Aaron Rodgers carving them up with 3 touchdown passes. From there, we're off to check out another game. And they trail in that one as it's the visiting Jags who are out in front. Blake Bortles throwing the football well. He has 3 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's check in at our nation's capital. See what's happening with the Redskins at home at FedEx Field. And they trail the visiting Lions in that one. The Lions seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw now on 1st down. And he fires one incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
They're going to look to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. The loss of 3 on that 1st down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. And on the ground they go with a running back. Room here to run. 23 yards on the pickup there and a 1st.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 down at the 31. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain,
Still
all
first
for
down.
naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 4 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
Good solid gain on 1st down, about what you'd expect from the big guy carrying the ball.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. They'll set up to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield, pushing his way through. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Now, there is nothing easy about being a kicker on a day like this.
Yeah, I tell you, not only is the footing tough in the snow, but kicking that ball is like kicking a rock. Very difficult to get any sort of feel on your kicks.
Yeah, because they couldn't hit the long field goal, they are set up nicely offensively at the 41, 1st and 10. Now Prescott. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And now the ball's out, fumbled near midfield. And this is picked up by the Bears.
Playing in snow brings so many other factors into the game. It's not just trying to take care of the ball, and we just saw there that that's difficult to do, but just trying to keep your feet and carry out your assignments and make sure you're comfortable while you're out there playing. Are you warming up in your clothing? A million things going on, but the biggest one, hold on to the ball.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? It creates a lot of confusion, kind of muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And Wilson has it. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And they'll run it here. He's to the 10. And did he get in? No, down at the 1-yard line. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They'll drop the throw. And too much on that one. It's out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number. Not in this league. But a drop.
Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Allen Robinson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears will add on to their lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was the super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Cowboy offense heading out. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there.
Oh, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up. Loose football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Danny Trevathan there to bring him down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Sean Lee, the Pro Bowler, there for the tackle.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. Well, that second down run, a big help. The 7 yards leaves him with just a 3rd and 3 now.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Now they try the right side here. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A great play there with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Bears continue to pour it on. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
And oh, it's no good on the PAT. So they can't add on here. And our score is going to stay right where it is. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Cowboys. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it. I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Prescott from the gun on 3rd. A dump off to Elliott, and he's able to get up here to the 26. A gain of 4 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Now a handoff looking right. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Tackle made there by Chidobe Awuzie.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here, 3rd and a yard.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up 4th down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone.